Hello, hi everybody. My name is Ellie, and I am Dyed in the Wool Yarns on Instagram, and Dyed in the Wool shop on Etsy. Um, and today I am going to show you some yarn, obviously, and tell you a little bit about me and what I do um, and why I do it. So I got into dyeing yarn last year at the end of the summer. I'd practiced dyeing yarn in the past, like just bits and pieces, but I hadn't actually ever thought about selling it. So I've started selling it, and I've been doing it now for over a year, and I still love it, and I'm still coming up with fun new colourways and exciting ideas, and I'm really glad to be part of the Yorkshire Yarn Fest today. So I'm going to start by showing you some of my most popular yarns, and then telling you a bit about the story behind them. So I'm going to turn my camera away now so that you can see me properly. So some of the things that I am most well known for are bright neon colours. I use neon dyes, and I'm always trying to make sure that even if I'm doing a fairly neutral colourway, that I'm incorporating some neon and bright colours within that. This is a rainbow skein that I've dyed called Dancing With Myself, named after the song. Lots of my yarn is named after songs. And the process of dyeing this is basically I lay it in a big stainless steel pan on my hob, full of water, heat it up, add the dye, let the yarn cool down. So I've started with red, going into orange, going into this really fabulous neon yellow that I use a lot, green, turquoise, again I use it a lot, and then this really bright purple that also breaks, so the the dye breaks up and leaves you with bits of pink as well, which is really, really nice. When it's twisted up in a skein, it's hard to see all the colours that are in it. But it's one of my best sellers. I love it the most. You're not supposed to have favourites, but I do. It's definitely one of my favourite yarns to dye. And it's called Dancing With Myself, like I said. When it's in a skein, it's hard to see like the rainbowiness of it. But when it's unwound, if you look on my Etsy or on my Instagram, you'll find a picture of it laid out, so that you can see what the colours look like, and it creates some really fun striping and some colour pooling. If you decide to make a larger project with it, like a shawl or a sweater, it does create some beautiful pooling. And off the back of that, I created another colourway. My favourite colour is pink, hence the pink hair, and I created Raspberry Rainbow, which is not named after a song, and that yarn is half pink. So this is a really bright neon pink that I use. It actually looks kind of dark. It looks the same sort of colour as my hair. It is very vivid. In pictures and in real life, it is very vivid. And that fades into orange, so we're skipping the red entirely in this colourway. Orange, the yellow in this skein for some reason is a little bit sparse, but then there's green, blue, and that gorgeous bright electric purple that splits into pink at the end as well. This one is a bit easier to see in the skein. So when you see it skeined up, you can kind of tell that it's fully like a rainbow, but with a lot more pink in than you would expect in a normal rainbow. And I try to use pink in everything, but then sometimes people say, have you got any colourways that aren't pink? And I do. I have loads of colourways that don't include pink at all, and I can show you some of those now. For example, this is a particularly dark skein, but I dye a colourway called Electric Wizard, which is forest green and electric purple. And now as I'm saying this, I realise that there is pink, because the purple dye breaks. I realise that there is pink in this, but it's supposed to be dark green and dark purple. And I named it after a band called Electric Wizard. They're a sludge stoner metal band. And the green has come out incredibly dark, but it is still a very deep forest green, which is really, really nice. It looks beautiful skeined up, and there are loads of examples on my Instagram profile, which is at Dyed in the Wool Yarns. There are loads of examples of things people have made with this, and one of my favourites is my friend Elena made a crop top using it, and the colour pooling in it was absolutely beautiful. It looks different on different yarn bases as well. So the yarn bases I dye on tend to be either 4-ply, which is 100% merino, sock, which is 75% merino and 25% nylon, and it's quite a high twist. And then DK, which is 100% merino. This is on a DK skein. But for example, Raspberry Rainbow that I just showed you, this is on 4-ply. It's incredibly soft. Like, it's just lovely to work with. Even the sock yarn. So, for example, I've got this sock yarn, which is, I don't know if you can really see, but it's quite a high twist yarn. This colourway is called Lighters, and it's named after a song by a band called Pain. There's a line in the song that says, "I know when I reach heaven, I'll get all my lighters back," which really inspired me with this one, because, like, I don't smoke so much anymore, but when I used to smoke, you think about all the different clipper lighters that you've lost over the years at parties, or just generally losing them. You're always buying new lighters. If you smoke at anything at all, you're always buying a new lighter, and they tend to be quite bright colours and fun colours. So with this colourway, again, it turns out different every time I dye it, and it does include pink, I'm sorry to say. So what I tend to do is lay the skeins out and then just blotch colours on, and what you end up with is a really beautiful effect of lots of yellows and greens, lots of blue and purple, lots and lots of pink, and then you end up getting some like mixtures. So where the blue meets the green, it creates a darker green. Where there's less of that, it's like a more neon green and a neon yellow. Lighters is a really popular colourway. I've sold lots of it, and it looks particularly, this is like I said, a sock skein, but it looks particularly nice on a DK base. Mama P Creation says, "Don't be sorry, pink is good." Yeah, I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I do love pink. And another colourway that I dyed that includes a lot of pink. Remember I told you about the electric purple yarn dye that I use that splits and creates pink. Well, I've taken advantage of that effect with a colourway called Doll Parts, which is named after a song by a band called Hole, and the lead singer is Courtney Love, if you know of Courtney Love. So this is mostly a white skein, but it's got speckles, and where the purple has landed, let me hold it still enough, where the purple has landed, it is then broken into pink, which is just gorgeous. So you get the deep purple and the electric purple, but you also then get pink off the back of that. It looks really, really nice, knit up into socks in particular. It looks really, really nice, knit up into like mittens and scarves and shawls and things. And there is a really nice example as well of somebody who knitted the pussy hats, the beanies that have got cat ears on them. Somebody knit one of those using this on a DK base, and it looks fantastic. It looks absolutely amazing. What else can I show you? So I have got a colourway called Physical Graffiti, which I am discontinuing for many reasons. I have 3 skeins of this colourway left, all on 4-ply. In fact, I actually technically have 4 skeins, but one is on DK base. I have 3 skeins of Physical Graffiti left, and the reason that I'm discontinuing it is because I found that I wasn't loving the process of dyeing it as much as I do with the others, and the colourway was difficult to repeat. So if somebody wanted a sweater quantity of it, it was difficult for me to be able to repeat it. And I thought, you know what, if I've made it too difficult for myself, like I just need to not. So anyway, I've got 3 skeins of Physical Graffiti left in my shop. Now, this is a mixture of like a dusky brown and a silver grey, but it's speckles of neon blue, pink, yellow and green, I believe, and I think there may even be some orange. And some of the colourways come out a bit darker, so you've got this one which has got a lot more of the silver in it, and a lot more of the pink, but it does have really defined, I'm trying to find an example now, but there are some really defined speckles in this colourway, again, perfect for a sweater, perfect for a top. I know it's not, everyone's knitting sweaters now because it's sweater weather, but these would be ideal for a summer top. And again, I have it on a DK base, but it's come out so completely differently. So you can see the dusky brown and the greys come out very dark, but the speckles on this one are fabulous. Really, really defined. I find an easy way, a friend of mine told me a really easy way to define the speckles if you want them to be like really like crisp and like not blotchy, basically, is to mix your dye with citric acid, no water, and then sprinkle it on, and then you get really defined speckles, and they just look fabulous. But like I say, I'm not loving the process of dyeing this colourway, so it's going to be discontinued. So there are 3 skeins of this in my Etsy shop if it's something that you like. I enjoy dyeing things that incorporate bright colours. Red is not a favourite colour of mine, despite the fact that I do love pink. Red is not a favourite colour of mine, but I do know that some people really love pink. And this skein is called Punk Unity, again named after a song, but also after kind of my own personal ethics and music interest and style and taste and things like that. It's red and black, but where the black meets the red, you get like a kind of beautiful purpley, I want to say like a purpley grey colour. My friend Taz, who I love to bits, she's knitting a hoodie out of this at the moment. There's another colourway I do which is just pure black, called Black Sabbath, named after the band, and she is knitting a hoodie at the moment out of this and Black Sabbath, and it looks fantastic. Like the way that the colour pools in this yarn is like just beautiful. It works really well, and like I say, I'm not a fan of red. I wouldn't normally choose red for myself, and that's why I created Raspberry Rainbow, was because using red is not something I'm a massive fan of. There's not a lot of red in my colourways, but Raspberry Rainbow incorporates that pink, and I think a pink rainbow is nicer than a red rainbow. And you can let me know what you think in the comments down below, whether you like red in your rainbow or pink in your rainbow. I like pink. That's my personal preference. So the last thing I think I'll show you is probably, because I've shown you a lot of different things now, but this is a one-off skein. So I dyed up some advents, which have now all been dispatched. So if you're waiting for a yarn advent from me, they've all been dispatched and they're on their way. And if you live in the UK, you've probably received yours by now. And one of the colourways, a bit of a spoiler alert, just to let you know, there will be a bit of a spoiler. One of the colourways is based on the intersex pride flag, which is yellow with a purple circle. Now this colourway is on a sock base. I only have one because I dyed it by mistake. I thought it was a bunch of mini skeins, like all tied together, but it turned out to be a full-size skein, so I only have one of these. It makes me think of Cadbury's Flake. I don't know if it still comes in a yellow package with purple, but this is ideal for socks, basically. It is a really lovely sunshine yellow, so rather than using a neon yellow, it's more of a sunshine. And what I did was I just drew with the dye a purple circle, and there's a little bit more purple here, and there's a little bit more purple here. So you've got like a deep purple, like maybe it's not the same neon purple that I've used in my other colourways. It's like a royal purple with a beautiful sunshine yellow, and that is something really rare and something really one-off. I feel quite passionately about intersex rights, and if you know anything about me, you'll know that I'm queer. I'm not intersex, but I do feel really strongly about the rights of intersex people, and so that's why I decided to include my take on the intersex pride flag in my yarn advent calendars. So on one of the days, I can't even remember which day I put it in, but you will, if you have a yarn advent from me, you will receive a mini skein of this. But if you wanted a full size skein, I have one on sock, and who doesn't love lovely beautiful sunshine yellow socks with hints of purple. It reminds me of a Cadbury's Flake. So that's kind of my time up now. I really want to thank you. There's 23 of you watching me, and I really want to thank you for tuning in, because I am just a little dyer who does stuff on my own, and it's really encouraging to see that people are interested in what I do. So I'm going to sign off now. thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of the festival.